Hello, it's Khadijah. I'm back with another video. Do we allow the school system to validate our identity or who we are? Not to say, I always have to go in with a little disclaimer that we shouldn't go to school. However, school is so much different than how it was before, and that's why parents before us, or our parents or generations before us, really push school up on the next generation because they're like, hey, you need to do this. This is the way to go. And we're living in a day and age now that people do not have to go to school in order to make a living, and we see that all the time. However, I see people that are oftentimes in a place of purpose, and they still go back to school. And I don't know if it's because the Lord, it could be, of course, because the Lord has told them to go back to school. Because I feel like the Lord is calling me to go back to school. So that's why it's never where I'm trying to shame anybody for this. But it's for us to look deep down and see why exactly am I going to school? So I've seen where people have been in a place of purpose and then they say, oh yeah, I have a doctorate degree. And they're not really using the doctorate degree. So it's just like, do you have it to say, I got one? And what we know a doctorate, a master's, bachelor's, all that to be is man's validation. So it's man telling us, oh yeah, you went to school and you were able to complete this. But what does God say? We know that whatever God says, that is who we are. And so we have to get careful. We have to be careful and not allow the school system to actually manipulate us into going to school in order to feel like we have arrived or accomplished. Because we know many people who have a degree and they also have the debt of that degree, and the career does not make as much as the debt that they had. So we have to make sure when we go into these positions that we're going to, of course, be able to reap the benefits from it, and not just saying I got a doctorate, but also, yeah, I'm walking in purpose. This is what the Lord has called me to do, and I do not have any debt, because the Lord says that the lender would be no, the borrower. I'm always trying to say the lender first, but the borrower will be slave to the lender. And so we have to remember this going in and have a strategic plan. Yeah, go to school. If your purpose or whatever the Lord is calling you to in this season is to go to school, go to school. However, do not allow that degree to define who you are and wear it on your forehead, because it's so easy to get caught up in wanting to be validated by man and say, oh, I got this, so they can look at you a certain way. When God has already called you, it doesn't matter what anybody says about you. So we have to remember that when we're walking this earth, so we don't get confused and try to basically appease man and stop pleasing God. So thank you so much for watching. Like I always say, sa cambio que quieres ver en otros. Until next time, bye.